Sometimes the simplest things can help us achieve those cinematic shots. It's all about the creative idea behind it. So that got me thinking, what can we do with a simple rope? Well, actually a whole lot. So here are 5 crazy camera shots using nothing but a rope. A big thanks to Hollyland for sponsoring today's video. They have a bunch of solutions for transmitting wireless video and audio. With me I have the Mars 400S and the brand new Mars X. For the first setup, we'll be using the Mars 400S. Basically, you connect the SDI or the HDMI output of your camera to the transmitter. And on the receiving end, you connect the SDI or HDMI out to a display. It pretty much works straight out of the box. Now, what we did was attaching our camera to the ceiling truss with 2 ropes. You need that so that it won't start spinning like crazy. Now, we start with a close-up and then pull up the camera, revealing the rest of the scene. And because we can see the video on a monitor, we can also use a wireless follow focus to keep the subject in focus. A minimal latency is important when doing focus pulls. Now, the 400S is not latency free, but it's very minimal and definitely usable for focus pulling. You can actually choose the quality of the video transmission. If you set it to speed mode, the latency will improve. Moving on to the next trick, which I call the swing. We'll attach the camera again to the ceiling with 2 ropes. And by the way, guys, if you don't have high ceilings, you can also go outside and just throw a rope over a tree branch or something. Now this time, secure the rope as we're going to let it go and swing. Now using this technique on an epic action gives you the following results. Now, it is also possible to let other people on set connect to the wireless video using their phone. This is a separate Wi-Fi signal, so you won't get the same quality, but it's great for other crew members to just be able to see what the camera is doing. Or if you don't want your client to breathe in your neck the entire time, just let him connect with his phone and have him sit in a green room. Now, if you do need the full image quality on the receiving end, you can also get a second receiver unit. Remember that the connection between the Mars units and your phone are separate. And before I forget to mention it, there are 8 channels that you can choose from if you might have interference. There's even a scan option to pick the best channel for you. Now, between the 2 units, you can go up to 400 feet. Or knees or shoulders, I don't know. Let's go for 120 meters, that makes more sense. Anyhow, moving on to the next trick, this one is easy. Simply attach the camera with a single rope to the ceiling or again a branch of a tree or something. Now pretty quickly you'll notice that the camera will start spinning, which is exactly what we need. Now this camera trick works great for dance videos or anything else where you have a rotating or moving subject. Now for the next trick, I'm going to use the entry-level Mars X from Hollyland, which is a brand new thing and only costs $179, but you get a ton of features. For starters, it's small. You can power it through USB or use the internal battery so that it remains small. But it's very durable and it's aluminum body. Now it only comes with a transmitter unit as you want to connect using your phone. It's the same app that we were using before, and what I love about it are all the monitoring features that you have in here. You've got waveforms, histograms, focus peaking, false color, magnify for focus, you can even add a LUT for displaying, and you even have the ability to record the feed on your phone. Now this could be very useful if you have your camera hanging somewhere so that you can watch a playback on your phone without having to take it down. Anyways, we're going to create a sort of Steadicam using a simple rope. Attach 2 or 3 ropes to your camera and bring that to a stick. And we can use that stick to clamp our phone to as a monitor. And by the way, the other crew members can also connect using their phone. I think that you can go up to 3 users. Anyways, because of the weight of the camera is pulling itself down, you get a more stabilized motion as you walk around. It's not a Steadicam, but it definitely stabilizes some way. Now do try to walk as steady as possible and the end result should work pretty good. And this brings us to the last trick. Attach 1, 2, or 3 ropes to your camera and bring them to the ground where you want to secure them in place to something heavy. Now when pulling your camera up, you'll keep the same distance to the ground and you'll be able to make more steady shots. Now of course you can also attach it to the ceiling. If you have high ceilings like we do, you can actually do longer movements like the swing trick that we did before. You'll still get a handheld motion, but it's a lot more smooth. And those were my 5 crazy camera tricks using nothing but a rope and of course the Mars 400S and the brand new X, which made it a lot easier to pull these off. And to learn more about these products, make sure to click that first link in the description down below, or there's also more information somewhere in there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you Hollyland for the support, and as always, stay creative.
Godverdomme! Jongens.